know what to do. Susie. Aloha,
That's
Sarah.
who you are. And Sarah is who I am.
I can't believe you're back already
Hello.
from your tropical getaway.
Or shall I say, aloha, Susie?
Aloha to you. We're two Hawaiian goddesses now.
Yeah, everybody was like, so is Susie here too? And I'm like, no. And they're like, but she's in Hawaii. I'm like, I know, just a weird coincidence.
So close, but not quite.
But I was jealous of you because you actually got to go in the ocean.
Yes, I had more of an island experience.
Yes.
What was the deal? Why didn't you make it to the beach?
So I was in Hawaii to do some speaking about sexual assault awareness and treatment on the military base out there. So my day was full of sitting in conference rooms, talking to commanding officers about how they respond to sexual assault and the best ways to treat sexual abuse on base and past traumas and trauma-informed healing. And Suze, it was awesome.
Really?
I had no idea. Oh, there's like a 90% chance I'm going to cry telling the story.
Okay.
I had no idea how much the military cared about this. And really, I mean, we think of, I don't know, it's just me. I always thought like the military you kind of think of as this big organization and, or big thing. And just like all of it is all one shared idea. And
you think that if stuff's happening, they're going to cover it up. And it's very cynical.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
Wow.
I met countless people who are working tirelessly to end this, who know it's a problem, and then people who have been in for 20 years who say, it was not always like this, and we admit that it was not good, but now we are putting so many efforts into changing. And the drill sergeant that was there talked about her own stories, and people were open and sharing, and so many survivors spoke out, like in front of the other, men and women in uniform. And nobody was ashamed of it. And it felt so, so good to see that this is something that people are really, really caring about. And I did not expect, I thought I was going to go there and have to like convince them that this is a thing we need to care about. And it was like, I had a 2-star general talk to me and say, tell me what I need to do. I'm all ears.
No way.
And
I
say,
died.
I died, Suze. he awarded me with these things called challenge coins that like they just do not hand out to anybody. And he like gives it to me in like the secret handshake thing.
No
and like
way.
all like, it was so cool. And I was like, oh my God, don't cry right now, Sarah. But just saying like, this is so important. And I'm here to like, whatever you need to support you in this and to make sure that, this is something that we're putting all of our attention towards. And they have an entire unit dedicated to this called SHARP. I can't remember what it stands for. It's like sexual harassment, something, prevention and services or something. And it's this huge like part and they, with a huge staff and these really well-trained victim advocates. And I mean, like, my heart was just exploding the whole time.
Oh, that is sure validating for you, I imagine.
So much.
Yeah.
And I just had this realization that, like, man, it's a really small pool of realities or people who are, have been on TV or somebody knows who they are, who are open about sexual abuse, who are also trained and informed in this subject and have the credentials. And I'm like, I need to be doing this.
Yeah, that has to make you feel really proud.
Oh, yes, it did. And it made me feel so good to know that there is going to be a change in the culture.
I hope you're right. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that.
I know it. When you're in it and when you see it and when you're there, I know it. I mean, like the water bottles that they all carry around now say not in my squad and like have a number for like sexual assault, like prevention on it.
So this was a big problem though at one point?
Yes. Yes.
And what
absolutely.
are we just talking? Is there a particular thing that's high risk there, or is it just like across the board? Like
there are a few different things. There's a lot of there's a lot of past trauma. Okay. You know, people who join the military who not everybody, but it is often that they have past trauma, whether that be physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, because and we talk about this, what I believe we've talked about on here before, the HPA axis, which is this it's part of like your endocrine system where all of your hormones flow, that's really highly activated when you're in a stressful situation. And when that becomes activated, you enjoy, or you become more familiar and comfortable with high stress situations and things like, you know, you live in that like highly reactive place, and that becomes more comfortable for you. And so that feeling would attract people to the military.
Sure. Yeah. And you can also get away and you find out new family kind of.
Exactly. That was what touched my heart more than anything, was that this is a family.
Yeah.
And I was like, and everybody was like, this saved me, because my own family didn't believe me. My own family said, I can't talk about this. I'll bring shame to the family. So they disowned me, and I came here. And so you don't want them to come to a place where they're going to continue that abuse, or when that abuse is going to be, you know, they're going to continue to receive it. So they're making so many efforts. And so, so it's focused on past trauma and then understanding the grooming process and hierarchy and understanding power, and talking a lot about who are the perpetrators. They got rid of the term, what do they call it? They call it the good guy defense, where you're now not allowed to talk at all about how the person's like
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I love. And they came up to me and were like, can you add this to your slides? How they're not doing this this is a good thing, you know, that we want to make sure they know about too. And I didn't even know about that. I was like, yes. Because I always ask for feedback at the end.
I see that inevitably when someone's accused of something terrible, there's always somebody that's like, well, he didn't do anything to me. And it's like, well, that's great, but it doesn't mean he didn't do it to somebody else.
Or him, he's such a great guy. He's been serving the military for this many years. And no, you can't say that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So looking at power, looking at hierarchy, making sure that they know. Oh, and now they have this like transition program where if you experience any sort of trauma, whether it's like PTSD, whether it's physical or emotional, like while you're in the military, then they have a program that you go through where rather than just, you know, going, oh, are you good? Well, no, then you're out of here. They try to rehabilitate you and work with you and like give you the time to heal so that you can go back into the military. Rather than just giving them like the discharge papers. Yes. And that's so important. So we talked a lot about what the end goal is and how the end goal can't be justice because that's so rarely received, and how the end goal needs to look like it's this journey and like long healing process that there is no blueprint for, that looks different for everyone. And I mean, it was so cool to see all these like high-ranking military personnel in full uniform looking at me saying, like, taking notes.
Oh my God, that's humbling.
So humbling. I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this. This is so amazing. And they're all doing, like, they're all so into it, and this is great. And we got such good feedback, and they asked us to come back again in June.
That's so great.
That's
Although,
so good.
I will say it is kind of cruel that they keep having you come to Hawaii. So maybe next time they like can let you surf and
right. Well, I should have just tacked on an extra day. That was like an option, and I was like, I got clients to get back to. But next time I will get my surfing in. I did have some spam masubi, so we're good. We
had one of our Hawaiian brainiacs tweet to us about that. She's from Hawaii, and she was saying how fun it was to hear us talk about how good spam musubi is.
It's so good. And then I was like trying to sell it to everybody else who I was talking to everybody about it. Yeah, it is. And they're like, that's not for me. I'm like, no, You don't understand.
You know what's an easy sell, though?
What?
Beta brand pants.
Oh, easy peasy.
They are such a good sell because if you want to look cute and be comfortable, Beta brand are the perfect pants for you. So great for work, going to meetings, doing your thing out in the world. You want to look proper and not like a schlub. But
yes.
You don't want to be uncomfortable all day. They have tons of different styles, boot cut, straight leg, skinny cropped, and more of their dress pant, yoga pant, which Sarah likes when I say.
Love it.
They have lots of standard colors, and then they do seasonal and limited edition colors, all different lengths and styles with pockets. The fit, the feel, and the comfort are amazing. I have tons of different styles, and I just wear them whenever I have to go to a meeting or anything like that. When I leave my house, basically. That's why I started wearing Beta Brand dress pant yoga pants. Visit betabrand.com/braincandy, all lowercase, to get 20% off yours. Millions of women agree they are the most comfortable pants you'll ever wear to work. That's betabrand.com, betabrand.com/braincandy, all lowercase, to get 20% off your dress pant yoga pants. Oh, also, friendly reminder, you guys need to be counting how many times I say the word like, so that
I forgot.
so that I can put it in my like jar and pay
That's so great.
$1 for every time I gratuitously use the word like. I'm trying to break the habit, and it's super hard, and I am sick of it.
You know what? I think those jars are really helpful for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah?
I'm trying to think, because I was thinking, when I'm a parent, what kind of jar would I have? Because, I don't really care about swearing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, what about a mean words towards myself jar?
Oh, good one.
Anytime you said any sort of thing, put down towards yourself, that would probably be good to teach some confidence. And
especially for young girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you say one thing oh my God, I look so fat. Oh my God, my hair looks so bad. Nope. Put it in the jar.
I should have a jar for that too. Right.
Yeah, maybe I needed that jar. It's a little projecting I'm doing. Yeah.
I did that thing you tell people to do where you stand in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself.
Yeah. How was it?
I mean, felt a little silly, but then I was like, you know what? This is a great idea.
Good.
Because it did feel like, you know what? I do love her. She's great.
And you know what? I just love that you did? You did it in third person. I do love her. She's great.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Oh my God, I've had this conversation so many times in the past week. It's like the universe telling me something. When we speak to ourselves in this third person way, that's like our executive functioning, higher self brain. When we speak to ourselves you're so bad. You rarely say anything positive about yourself in first person. It's
like the lizard brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how you can really get yourself out of it. If you go, am I speaking Sarah's so great, or is it I'm such an idiot? If it's I, then switch it and get out of that.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't talk that to your acquaintance or friend or anybody.
Right. But every time I see somebody tell me a story about what they were thinking, they never say, "Oh, Sarah, you're such an idiot." It's always, "I was thinking I'm such an idiot." But then when they say something positive, they're always like, and then I said to myself, "Sarah, you can do this."
Wow, that's interesting.
It always happens.
Right. I'm going to be more aware of that.
Yeah. Let's just start doing an unofficial experiment.
The Brainiac should try it. Look in the mirror when you get out of the shower or whatever, and just be like, "I love you," or whatever you are feeling or want to feel, and say it and see what you think. Maybe it'll help you.
And the fact that it's a little bit uncomfortable,
it
is a good good. You get over that hump. Because that feeling of uncomfortability is the same feeling that we get when somebody gives us a compliment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you got to desensitize, it gets desensitization to that feeling.
Let it wash over you.
Yes. Ooh, what a good word. It's probably why we feel like today. Hawaii is magical. Right. Susie was telling me that when she's in Hawaii, she's always down with the woo-woo stuff because she feels more spiritually connected.
Listen, when we were there, I had to get my hair done, my roots done. Because, when it needs to be done, it needs to be done. So I went to this lady, And she said, what does your son think of Kauai? And I'm like, he loves it. He says he prefers it over Oahu, and he just can't get enough. And she's like, well, they say that the island either loves you or hates you. And so maybe the island has embraced him. And she had all this magical speak, and I was into it.
Oh, I'm getting chills. I love it.
Because she said, people believe that if they move to the island and then they can't find a job or something, they'll go to the beach and have a conversation with her, the island. It's like Moana.
I love that.
We need to be more
doing
like that.
Way more of that. Yep.
Well,
yep.
You know how we love Jason Momoa?
Oh, yeah, we do.
I mean, and even The Rock, these guys are enlightened men who are super sexy, but they're spiritual too.
Oh my God, are they?
It's the island. Spiritual. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, Jason Momoa can be spiritual all over my body.
Spiritual. Okay, wait. Okay, let me stay on track. First of all, can we discuss what everyone wants us to discuss, which is the black hole discovery picture thing? Okay.
Dang, that's cool.
Were you super psyched about it?
Yes, but here's what I didn't know. That we didn't have a picture of this.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know about black holes, but I didn't know that they technically were just a theory.
Okay. So
we didn't have an actual photo of one.
Right. They weren't theory, though.
Well, sort of. Like, they know that it exists. Well, I guess it should say it backs up, like, Einstein's theory of relativity. Like, it really, like, this was something that they needed.
Yeah.
To prove that theory, like, more correct or something. But, like, the fact that I didn't know that we didn't have a picture of it before.
Right. So this was a big deal, but to you were like, don't we already have one of those?
Well, yeah, but at first I was like, wait a sec. What do we get a picture of here? Like, I need to do a deep dive. And then I found out, I was like, oh, dang, that's cool. Okay.
Okay. And then, so everyone was celebrating. And then there was the moment when everyone started saying, yeah, well, a woman did it. And it became this big thing. And that's when everyone started tweeting to us.
Yep.
And then the tides turned and it kind of got weird to me.
Well, I don't know about this.
Okay. So everyone was celebrating that it was a woman and then simultaneously saying like, and no one's talking about how it's a woman. Meanwhile, everyone that I knew was talking about how it was a woman. So it almost felt like that thing where, when they introduce George Clooney's wife, Amal, and instead of mentioning him, they'll be like, international lawyer Amal Clooney and her husband were, and they almost do it they overcorrect for all the times we've said George Clooney's wife. Okay, so that's what it felt like, where it was like they were making they were calling her a woman scientist or female scientist, which annoyed me. She's not a female scientist.
She's just a scientist, for Christ's sake. Oh, yeah. So I don't like that. That does bug me. A female anything. I'm like, it's just what it is.
You ever have that feeling where you're like, okay, you're making too much of a big deal about it, almost like we weren't able to do it and no one can believe we can do anything?
Yeah, I get that.
And then the incels and all those dicks started tweeting to the male lead or whatever of the group of scientists and congratulating him instead.
Ugh. Like intentionally going.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then he said,
gross.
Stop congratulating me. Like, we're a team and you're just being misogynistic. And by the way, I'm gay, so I don't know what you're.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
So that was fun too. But it just felt like it was this never ending story over this one picture. But can you believe it took them years to.
I shouldn't say cute. That how exciting was her face in that photo?
Oh, right. And so relatable.
Yes. And she's like, oh my God, I think this is it. Like, oh, it was so fun. I'm not called cute.
What that feels like when you work on something and toil over it for years and it's just numbers and abstract, and then there's a picture of this black hole.
I mean, you can hear it. I listened to just a brief clip of her talking about it, and you can hear the excitement in her voice.
Really?
Yes, it's really fun.
Well, that's exciting. I like that.
It sounds like if you had a 6-year-old or 7-year-old and you took them to Disneyland for the first time and you let them ride a ride and then they got off the ride and you asked them what it was like. And they were like, oh my God, it was so fun. I've just been waiting for this for my whole entire life. And then when I went on, it was even better than I expected. And then all of a sudden it was like this, and then it was like this. And like, that's how she said it. It was so fun.
Glad.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, if you're like anybody who's excited about science and hear that and know that you can be the one to discover something new, like that's exciting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that fills people with like hope and motivation, and there's just so much left in the world to be discovered. We don't even know. So don't stop searching.
You know what we discovered is how much we enjoy using Quip toothbrushes.
Yep. Took it on my trip.
It didn't take us years to figure that out, but we did discover it. And you took it on your trip. Did you take the top with you and cover it up with it?
Suze, you mean the base thing?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
We have a debate about it in our family because you can take the mount off the mirror and use that as a cap. Uh-huh. And I always do that, and my son and my husband never do. And I'm always like, why don't you take the cap? And they're like,
yeah. That's what I said to Landon, too. And he kept the whole base. So now he, like, puts it all back together and screws it in. It's got, like, a whole plastic. I was like, why didn't I do that?
My God.
I know.
Are
I was
weird,
like,
I swear.
They are. It's true. But you know what? He loves his toothbrush, and it's always nice and sealed. And I should probably just follow his lead there.
Anybody that ever had one of those bulky electric ones will appreciate what Quip has. That's so Landon. Much. Yeah, it's just sleek and minimal and beautiful in your bathroom, but it really does a great job brushing. It pulses every 30 seconds, so you know to switch sides. And the brush heads are automatically delivered every 3 months, just like the dentist wants, for only $5. And that's why I love Quip, and why they're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/braincandy, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/braincandy. All right, so we celebrated the black hole. Now, can we please discuss? This is what happens when one of us or both of us is away, and then we get back together, and I'm like, we have to discuss all of these things. We have to talk about the lady that got bees in her eye.
Oh, my God. Suze, I was terrified to click on that link.
Why? Do you have a fear of bees?
I'm like, I don't want to see something that I can't unsee.
Yeah.
Oh, it's freaking me out right now.
I'm sure she felt the same way.
I love bees.
Okay, right.
So I'm like, don't tarnish my image of bees.
Right.
Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Tell me everything.
Everything you say is hilarious. Like, don't tarnish my image of bees. Okay. Well, so you didn't read the article?
Nope.
Oh my God.
I ain't clicking that shit.
Weird.
Nope. I have too vivid of an imagination. I already am picturing what it looks like of like little.
Okay. So what happened was, if you didn't read the story, is that this woman started to feel irritation in her eye. And thankfully, she's not one of those people like me who will just rub their eye over and over until like something comes out or whatever. Because if she had done that, she might have gone blind. Thankfully, she has discipline. She went to the doctor, and the doctor started exploring around. It had started to swell, and it was really uncomfortable. And apparently, this is what freaked me out. The bees that he ended up finding were lodged between her eyelid and her eyeball. I pictured it behind her eye.
It was in front?
Yeah, it was on the lid. Dude, it was 4 bees, and P.S.
4?
Yes,
bees.
And I was picturing like baby bees.
No, they're big bees. What? How big is this lady's eyeball? Do we have other things going on? Like, what?
How big is this lady's eyeball?
I'm freaking out, man.
Apparently, these are called sweat bees. And they were drinking the salt from her tears.
Oh, fuck this. I'm a crier. This is not good for me.
Fuck this. Sarah, how do you think of this stuff to say?
What do you mean?
Fuck this. I'm a crier. This is not good for me. Like you're now a high risk.
Yeah, because I have so many salty tears. I do not need a new thing to worry about.
He started roaming around in her eyeball, and saw like wiggly legs poking out of her eyelid.
Dude.
And that's how he knew there were bees in there.
But
Evidently,
like 4? How do you get 4? There's some holes in this story.
No, this is what she claims, that she had gone to the cemetery to put flowers by a grave, and apparently sweat bees hang out in cemeteries.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
I don't know why. And so there was a dust up, I guess, and those babies flew right into her eyeball and started drinking some delicious tears.
Oh, my God. Well, now I feel like I have to see this.
Yeah, the picture isn't bad. It's more just the notion that's troubling.
It's like every 5 years or so, a story comes out where there's like a cockroach living in somebody's ear or bees in the eyelids. Whew, I'm just really hoping bugs stay out of all my orifices.
It just seems like if there is such a thing as a sweat bee and they enjoy salt, that this would be a bigger problem.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like, why haven't I heard about this before? And also, do we see this in horses? Like, I feel like horses would be.
That is a great question.
You know?
Maybe they have
because
room.
They always have stuff around their eyeballs.
Yeah, those big-ass bowling ball eyeballs.
Bees. Damn.
Sweat bees. Yeah, but I love bees too, and I support their efforts. But if you felt like that, wouldn't you rub your eye?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank God she didn't.
I mean, is that really what they're saying? Like, if she would have rubbed her eye, it would have been like lights out?
Yeah, they said danger zone. It would have been perhaps blinding or severe injury. I don't know.
That's a lot for me to take in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry I had to share that with you.
Oh, you know what? I just saw a picture.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay.
But they're pretty big for eyeball bees.
Dude, Suze.
Suze.
Okay, that wasn't... You're right. Thank you for standing next to me in case I have a flip out. Me too.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
And she's fine.
Okay,
it's all good.
good.
It's just more the idea that there could be bees living in your eyeballs that really gets you worked up. Did you hear about the comedian that died on stage? This is not funny, by the way. Yeah.
Dude, that's also crazy.
How about how the people didn't do anything because they thought it was part of the act?
Well, and he was kind of like a comedian who did some oddball things, right? He was kind of
that's an
interesting character.
Risky thing to do. If
he just had...
He cried wolf.
Yeah. So he had a heart attack, right?
Yes, he had a heart attack on stage, and people in the audience said he was up there for 5 minutes sitting. He had pulled up a chair and was sitting on the chair and was, I don't know if you'd call it unconscious or just nonverbal. And
they said his head went back and his arms were shaking.
Right. And they just thought it was part of the act and they were laughing. I would definitely laugh. I would not know.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if there was anybody in the medical field in the audience.
Oh, my God.
Because I feel like that's one of those things where you should notice.
What would you do if you knew that you could have helped and didn't?
Oh, I would feel so guilty.
That's the worst.
Oh, God. I wonder, so, you know, as a therapist, we're mandated reporters, but only when we're wearing the hat of a therapist. You know, it's not a mandatory report if I see something in, what do they call it? It's permitted, like the reporting is permissible or whatever the word is. Mm-hmm. Like I can report, but I don't have to report if I see, you know, something outside of times where I'm in the therapist in the room or whatever. But I wonder what the rule is if there's something like that for people in the medical field. Like, do they have to act if they see something? What's the rule on that?
That's a good question. I suppose it depends on how expansive the Hippocratic Oath applies.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
I would imagine, though, that anybody that would be in the field is going to
intervene,
but I don't suppose they have to. unless
Yeah.
they're on the job.
Right.
But
That's
that
what I
was-
think. It might be something like that.
I guess I've never been around anyone having a heart attack, but from the movies,
neither.
you think they'd be able to say, this is an emergency or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know they went quiet.
Man, for that
Right?
long. Oh, like when somebody was having a heart attack themselves?
Yeah, I never knew
Oh, I
that-
think there are just so many different levels of
Yeah.
it.
And sometimes
know?
they just maybe are having the equivalent of a seizure type of thing.
Maybe.
Right, and they
Oh,
can't talk.
gosh. Yeah.
Scary as heck.
Because sometimes you could be having a heart attack and everything's fine and you don't even know it. And you have like a mild heart attack. Mm-hmm. Like you know it. And I heard that a heart attack in a woman can look like symptoms of the flu.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Of course.
And with women, it's like harder to detect.
Right, because we're like, it's fine. It's no big deal.
Right?
I'm just
Yeah.
under the weather.
Ah. That's crazy.
You know what's going
Man.
to give you a heart attack is when you hear about Robinhood.
Oh, tell me.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy to understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you can never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of the Brain Candy podcast a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at braincandy.robinhood.com. All right.
Cool.
Got it.
So, just a quick little Google search of what a heart attack in a woman feels like.
Yeah.
This is basically like life being a woman.
okay.
It's
what?
like nausea or vomiting. So it's like waves of
Cramps.
nausea, stomach aches, cramps, vomiting or diarrhea, dizziness or lightheadedness, anxiety, sweating or feeling overheated,
Stop.
extreme or unusual fatigue, shortness of breath, and non-chest pain.
Come on.
So basically, if you have any symptom besides those associated with a heart attack, you're probably having a heart attack.
I feel like I've had a heart attack every day of my life.
Me too. I'm like reading this and it's like, do you have burning in your or tingling or aching in your upper back, shoulders, arms, or even your neck, throat, jaw, or ear? It might feel like a backache or a pulled muscle or a pinched nerve.
Did you ever see the Sarah Silverman bit where she talks about that sign you see at pools where they're like, don't swim if you've had diarrhea in the last 2 weeks? And she's like, as a Jewish woman,
Yes.
there hasn't been 2 weeks that I have not had diarrhea. And I totally, that's what you're saying. All these
Yeah.
symptoms, it's basically
It's like-
the same as getting your period or...
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like looking at this right now and I'm like, I think I may currently be having a heart attack.
Sarah's mid-heart attack as we speak.
There are bees in my eyes and I definitely am having a heart attack.
My pets' heads are falling off. That is terrible. Wow. Wonder why it's different in women.
I'm dying. Oh, that's so funny. Isn't that weird? It's like, and then women see that's why it gets missed and why heart attacks can be so like fatal or deadly for women, especially if they're under between the ages of like 30 and 54, it said, because those are so difficult to associate with a heart attack. So women are like, oh, I'm not going to go in. That's probably just something else.
Whoa.
Yeah, why is it different?
Mm-hmm. You would think the anatomy
Because
would
we
be...
have the same, yes. Mm-hmm. It's got to be hormone related then.
I feel like we really need to just have more doctors on the show because we're
asking a lot of questions and taking a lot of liberties with our non-medical degrees when answering.
Remember when I was at the Chicago meetup and 2 of the brainiacs that came were doctors, and one of them was saying how funny she thinks it is when we talk about medical stuff because we totally get it wrong all the time.
I we admit when we're wrong, though. Like,
we're
I have no idea. It's
civilians.
probably this.
That
Like,
sounds
that's not
right.
fake. Yeah.
What do you think you're going to die of?
Oh, good question. I think just old age.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. You know what? But I'm worried about is my eyes going, though.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about this.
Really? Macular degeneration runs in my family, so I'm always going to the doctor and getting that checked out, or the eye,
What did they tell you?
optometrist.
Did they tell you to take any supplements or anything?
Not until later. Like, I'll start them when I'm like 45 or 50 or something. But my aunt is on it, and her vision's really, really good. So she's like taking care of it. I think if you just like get it early, just gonna eat a lot of carrots. Don't they say that? Like,
yes, they do.
Yes,
And I don't know if
yes.
it's true, but it couldn't hurt. And
yeah, doctor friends, speak up.
right, they're gonna be like, no.
Is there a doctor in the house?
That's something that I was thinking about because I was imagining there are some older folks who lose their hearing and vision. Mm-hmm. And basically, what do you have to do then if you can't see or hear? I mean, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Oh, my God. Well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't like that. Hello.
There was a documentary film from a couple of years ago. It was just a short, 10-minute short film. And it was about people in nursing home. And one of the women they showed experienced that. And she would get her junk mail out of the mailbox and then cut it up for no reason other than it passed the time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was heart-wrenching.
That sounds like misery. Mm-hmm. That sounds like when you're in some like sci-fi movie and they sentence you to like a lifetime of like
right.
pain and suffering as like punishment for whatever in like some alternate universe or parallel universe. That's what you would do.
Yes.
Ugh.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
it's like Groundhog's Day because every day's the same and every day there's junk mail. And
yeah, and she said she knew it was fruitless, but she felt like it was a ritual that made her feel like she was still productive and useful.
Yeah. Ooh.
Brutal, right?
Brutal.
We can't
Okay, technology better just like advance. So like I got...
That's your answer for everything. Remember when I was
Yes.
like, what if you regret your tattoos? And you're like, by the time I regret them, they'll be easy to take off.
Yeah. I'm like, technology is advancing at very rapid speeds. We're going to be fine.
Do you really believe that, though? Or does that just make you feel better?
No, I really believe that. I really, really do. I
You're
think...
so optimistic.
Yeah. Now we see those... what are they? They're almost like exoskeletons that are helping people who are paralyzed walk.
Right.
So we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from everything else. Like, and now if you're born with, I was watching a whole thing on this about. It was a TED Talk from a while ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, about the future of like robotics and stuff like that, and how people who are born with hearing problems and get implants now have better hearing than people who were born with natural hearing. And people who get, like, I think there's also like now we can do something with the eye where I don't know if it's what it is, but that their eyesight will be better than that of a regular person, and how these little advancements. And the perfect example is the runner who had the legs, like he didn't have legs, and he's faster than people with both legs.
That is amazing.
When you combine like robotics and technology and all these other things with the human body, we're building humans that are better than their standard model.
Holy smokes.
And like, what does that mean? So I think that's just
That's
real cool.
encouraging.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you're right. Maybe there is hope for all.
There is. Not if we have a heart attack. We're fucking screwed.
I saw a headline. I saw a headline today about the hearing aids of the future, and it was talking about how they'll even. I don't even know what this meant, but they'll be able to differentiate between languages. Maybe there are.
Oh, dude!
How is that useful, though? I'm not sure.
I mean,
do you think that it's because some languages are inherently louder than others?
Different. I think that means more than that.
Translator.
I think it's like that. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, because it just, oh my God. How would they even do that? This is crazy.
I don't know. But it was showing how the things that they're creating for it are what you're describing. They're superior to the human ear.
Yes.
Even.
Yeah. So
that's encouraging.
Right. So like, no worries, people. But, ooh. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have something that I'm mad about.
Oh, I love a Susie's mad about something story.
And before I tell you what it is, I'll tell you there's something I'm not mad about, which is when you consolidate your loans and then get a way better rate through Lightstream.
You won't be mad about it either.
No, you won't be mad. You'll be super happy. This is an example of someone we work with that I hear constantly good things about them, and that encourages me. If you have high interest credit cards, then you know it sucks and you want a lower rate, and you can refinance your credit card balances and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. You can get a fixed rate as low as 6.14% APR with autopay. They have loans between $5,000 and $100,000. There are no fees, and you can get your money as soon as the day you apply. And that's the application online is super simple too. It's not invasive and it takes only a moment. If you want to save even more, our listeners get an additional interest rate discount. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/braincandy, lightstream.com/braincandy. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.50 autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/braincandy for more information. Anybody that's had those high interest rates knows that it's really frustrating and hard to get out of that pit.
Yeah, and the fact that you get an extra discount just for listening to our show, I mean,
you're welcome.
Cool. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Come on now.
Okay, so this is so stupid, but it's been bothering me since Valentine's Day, and I'm going to tell you about it.
Wow, you've been harboring some serious feelings for a while about this. Let them out, Susie.
Okay, so on Sirius Satellite Radio over Valentine's Day, they had on the Beatles channel, they had a Beatles countdown, which they do a lot, of like the best Beatles love songs.
Okay.
So I'm putting you on the spot, but can you think of like a Beatles love song that you particularly like, that you would vote as their number one?
There's
lots of them.
Yeah.
I would probably go with Yesterday myself.
Oh God, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Well, I love Norwegian Wood, but it's sad. Ooh. It's like not a love. It's a love song, but it's like one where he's like pining for her, and she's like, "Whatevs,"
No, I love a melancholy love song.
I do love that one. I think that one speaks to me the most.
Okay, so that's a good choice.
It's like longing.
Yes, and I Want to Hold Your Hand. That's even about longing.
Oh yes! Oh my God, I got chills. I love that.
The best.
I picked that one.
So there's so many to choose from, though. There are an enormous number of Beatles love songs that would be great choices. Yeah. So I'm ready. Like, I'm counting down. I'm so excited. What's it going to be? And they go through all my favorites. I'm like, what could be number one?
Yeah.
Well, I'm furious about it.
Yellow Submarine.
This was... What if I would fucking boycott if they chose Yellow Submarine? I hate that song. Okay. So... this was by vote, too. This wasn't just the people at the Beatles channel.
Okay, got it.
Beatle fans voting.
Okay.
Fucking Let It Be. It's not even a love song. I love Let It Be.
It's not. It's not a love song.
It's not.
It's like an
it was about his mom appearing to him in a dream and saying, like, don't worry, everything's all right. Let it be.
Yeah, I didn't know it was about that, but that's cool. And I just thought it was like an anthem for peace, like peace. And
I think you're thinking of the Across the Universe movie when they put that in the film. It was in that context, and that's a great way to interpret it. It is not about romantic love, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't like that either. What? Weird.
How could that many people have misunderstood the song to have made it number one love song by the Beatles?
Or was it one of those things where everybody loves that song and it was everybody's second choice?
Yeah, right.
And their first choice was all different. So like some crazy like glitch in the algorithm. The second choice became the most popular one because the first one was there was a really wide variety of number one, but like
That's
the
a really
second,
good theory.
That's my theory.
That is smart because
Yeah, that
they might have
happens,
just all
right?
split the vote, and then you end up with Ross Perot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's a mixed metaphor. That's,
Right.
I mean, yeah, because it's been sitting with me now for 2 months, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you people?
Which one did you say would be your number one?
I would probably go with Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, because that's also about
beautiful.
heartbreak and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to know what the Brainiac's favorite Beatles song is.
Ooh, yeah.
Too, because I don't know. It's just, I love
I
the
can
Beatles.
also play Let It Be on the ukulele now.
No.
Yes.
I want to hear it.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
post that? I missed it.
Yeah, a while ago.
Sometimes
and it's a fun one
I
because you can
watch-
play it really slow or you can play it with like a little bit of a jazzy beat.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Sometimes I have to watch your videos muted because I'll be like in bed with my kid.
Yeah.
And so maybe that was one of them. Dang. Well, you can play it for me sometime. Serenade me.
I will. I definitely will.
And I was thinking about how you had asked me one time who I would want to interview more than anybody, and it would definitely be Paul McCartney.
Oh,
I didn't
good
say that
answer.
at the time because I didn't think of it, but now I decided. And I want to
Really
know
good
who you
answer.
would choose. Like if you met somebody that was your ultimate, who would it be? Just die. Preferably someone alive.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's such a weird one, but I think Robert Sapolsky.
For
He
real?
is like my favorite. I just know that I would talk with him for hours.
That's
We
really
would be
nice.
excited about the same stuff.
That's really fun.
And all the things where I'm like, oh my God, let me tell you about this. And everybody's like, yeah. He'd be like, yes, oh my God. And then also about this story. And he gets equally as excited as me about things.
And so if you don't know who he is, he's a famous psychologist. Is that right?
Biological anthropologist.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I think also works with animals
There's some overlap.
behavior. Yeah, he does the because he works in studying stress on the body and uses animals for research, but also relates it to humans. But he does a little bit of both. I think he's technically a biological. Let me see. I'll have to look it up now. But anyways, he's just the best. He is the bee's knees.
Oh my God. Do you have
Yeah.
anybody like that for you that's a traditional celebrity?
Yeah, Beyonce.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I'm easy without
She's
no
a goddess.
doubt about it. Yeah.
What would you say to her?
He's
if you met her?
technically an American neuroendocrinologist, professor of biology, professor of neurology, neurological scientists, and courtesy neurosurgery at Stanford University. So he holds many titles.
Wow.
I
That's
mean,
our
come
kind of
on.
guy. We're
Yeah.
sapiosexuals around here.
Oh, I love it. I'm like, give me some of that beard. Yes.
I remember I asked you, if you thought he was attractive, and you're like, well, he is, but not in the classic sense.
Not in the classic way.
Then I looked him up.
Neuroendocrinology, that's it. Oh, you can watch his lectures. It's from Stanford online, and they're great.
If you met Beyonce, what would you say to her?
Nothing. I'm already getting nervous and tongue-tied right now. I would just probably, the Pope recently, this was just the other day, the Pope was meeting with two, I don't know what they were, government officials or something from countries that were at war who recently signed a peace treaty, and he got on his knees and just kissed their feet.
Oh, my God.
I would probably do that to Beyonce. I'd probably just get on my knees and kiss her feet. I wouldn't know what to say. I would just
Was that what it was like for whenever I met Patrick Fabian finally? I got all quiet and then I became like a mime.
Yeah.
Essentially. Total jackass. And Sarah was
funny.
charming and adorable. I mean, I really blew it.
Let me tell you about my friend Susie right here. She's a big fan of yours.
We're driving there the whole time. And I'm like, Sarah, you don't understand. This is the guy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, Suze, I get it. Because I was like, what if you met Jeff Goldblum? It's like that. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
It's like that.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
God, Jeff. I love him.
Such a loser. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, man. That's funny.
What else did I want to cover with you? Oh, I wanted to ask you, because you were on a flight. Did you have a straight flight, LAX to Honolulu?
Yeah, Long Beach to Honolulu, but close enough.
Long Beach, even better.
Yeah. Major complaints, though.
What?
They took there's no entertainment system. And then they do this thing now where you have to download the app before you take off.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're screwed.
Yes.
Enjoy silence.
Yes.
And the guy next to me, unfortunately, that was his situation.
Oh, no.
And I downloaded it, thank God. But, I couldn't figure out how to get it to work on my laptop. There was, this plug-in that no matter how many times I downloaded it, did not work. I can't figure out what button I need to click. I even looked up how to do it before the flight. Everything didn't work, so I just watched everything from my little iPhone screen. Watched a great new show called The Resident. Check that out. Medical drama. Dude,
the
it's
showrunner
good.
That follows me on Twitter, and she's super nice. You'll love her.
Oh, man, that show is so good. And then when I discovered there were 2 seasons, I was like, well, I know what I'm doing all weekend.
Oh, good. That's so fun when you find a new show.
Yeah, and it's great because it pulls back the curtain on what the medical industry is really about and how the hospital is trying to profit off of everybody and the run tests they don't need to run and all this stuff, and how we always say you have to be smarter than your doctor, and how this is why. And I just love that they're not sugarcoating it, and it's so good.
Yeah, she's she pushes for a lot of that sort of progressive legislation regarding the medical field. So
yeah,
I can see why
that's
that
cool.
message comes across. That's awesome.
Awesome.
But I asked about the flight because...
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot.
Yeah, I almost did too. I was going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Because I read that, gosh, I think it was Delta maybe, is limiting the reclining of seats from 5.5 inches to 3.5 inches on some flights because it was causing, first of all, a lot of fights on flights.
My God.
And also because, when you put your laptop on the tray and then someone puts their seat back, and it can really mess up your laptop. And so that is a big problem for folks that are commuting or flying for business or whatever. Are you a seat recliner on flights?
Actually, no.
No, me neither.
You know that? That's weird.
Why?
But I don't.
Why is that
I don't
weird?
know why. I don't know why I don't. It's interesting that both of us don't do that.
Yeah, because we're not assholes.
Yeah, and you know what? I do feel like an asshole when I do it. The only time that I do it is if the person behind me is kicking my seat a whole bunch. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be reclining now. Yeah, make a big scene out of it.
Right? Are you one of those people that reclines abruptly?
Yeah. Well, if the person behind me is being like that, I will, but not. That's not usually.
You're not putting up with that shit.
Really, the problem is we're blaming the people in the seat behind us or the seat in front of us, and they're reclining and blah blah blah. But really, it's just that the airlines. This wouldn't be a problem if the seats weren't so goddamn close to each other. That's what happened. They moved all the seats, and now they're like, well, people are getting in fights. It's our fault.
That's a good point. We have anger displacement. We're mad at the recliners instead of the airlines.
It's like if you put I think about those chickens, all crammed into a coop, and they'd be like, well, the chickens are pecking at each other. We got to remove their beaks. Well, fuck you. No, make a bigger crate, and they wouldn't be pecking at each other.
Right. That's a good point. But I do hate recliners because be that as it may, that the airlines are causing the problem, you can still not make it worse by reclining. You know what I'm saying?
What bugs me so much is when the seat is back, no joke, a half a centimeter, actually a half a centimeter. And the flight attendant comes by and goes,
I know,
I need you to put your seat up.
Yeah.
I need you to put your seat up. And you're like, really? And it doesn't go up anymore, but you just press the button. I'm like, oh. And then they put their hand on the back, they're going to assist you as you put it up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really? That much? It's almost, and I know it's their job. I know they have to. I know there's probably some weird reason for why. But that is just okay, I know. Okay, I got it.
It's funny because remember we got in trouble with the flight attendant on Twitter that one time because she thought we were disparaging her job, which we weren't. Although Sarah is now.
No, I'm complaining about the frustrations of the rules that they have to be the ones enforcing. They're the enforcers of the rules. It's the I'm not mad at them. They're the messengers.
I find it fast. I like the whole dance of the flight and the rules and how we pretend like it all matters. It's not as if anyone has survived a plane crash because their tray was up. Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's really just crowd control. Like it just feels like, yeah, we do. There's no reason. And then you know how you really know is that we used to have to all put away our cell phones, and now they won't even do that because they know it's unenforceable.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, if you have a small portable device, feel free to use it. Okay. So before, this wasn't like, then they tried to say things like, oh, you have to put it away because it interferes with radio, like the control towers. Bullshit. No, it doesn't, because now it's fine.
Yeah, why do they keep saying that?
So that was a bunch of lies before.
Was it, though?
I don't know. I just feel like if you had a device that interfered with it wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah,
if I can't bring any more than 4 ounces of shampoo, how come something that would interfere with the,
4 ounces
whatever.
Of shampoo. I really love when you get worked up. Because you are
I'm not even that worked up this morning.
And you'll follow the rules, but you're going to be mad about it.
Yes, totally true. And it's like the letter of the law versus the... Like, I want to know why it's a rule. If it feels like completely, what's the word, arbitrary, like there's no... Then I'm like, what? This is bullshit. This is like... Somebody explain to me. Because it's like anything. I want the science. I want the research. I want to know, like, what... And that's why I'll follow the rules. I'm like, yep, because that's what the science says. That's what the research says. This is why we're doing it. There's method to the madness. Definitely follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. But if it seems like, there's no real reason for this, then I get mad.
I feel that way about dumb stuff. Like, for example, I had a bellyache, and I was like, what is a bellyache anyway? And so I wanted to find out, what is it? But you can't even... get an answer. It'll just say what causes it, like constipation or indigestion.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I want to know what's going on in there to give me pain. This is not really what you were describing, but it kind of is the same thing. I just need answers.
So I read something, this was a long time ago, but it was saying that most of the time when you say you have a stomach ache, you don't actually have a stomach ache. Your stomach is a lot higher than you think it is.
Oh.
And your stomach is at the very top. What you really have is a digestive problem because it's in your small intestines or large intestines. So it's not the stomach.
Okay. Well, see, you're more help than Google was.
The large intestines or small intestines.
Okay, so it's like a gastrointestinal disruption.
Yes. And then you can kind of narrow it down because, like, if it's like nausea, then it's usually the stomach. But if it's cramping, it's the intestines. But I'm sure our doctor friends are going to be like, excuse me, that's actually not correct. So I don't know. But this is just what I like remember from something I read one time. And,
yeah, I think you're getting what I'm saying, though, is that if you actually want an answer, sometimes you can't get it, whether it's why do we have this rule or why do I have a bellyache?
Or why do I have bees in my eyeball?
For example.
How
big? Quote of the episode: how big is this woman's eyeball? What if that was the problem?
Right.
Oh, I didn't mention
you never know.
Her
Sometimes there's, the little things, and you're like,
Right, we just didn't have all the information.
Right. I don't know.
All right, well, we gotta go. We gotta wrap this fun time up.
That was fun. I'm going to go listen to some Beatles and practice Let It Be.
Yes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. We love you.
Bye, friends.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.